The vampire counts march forth.
Hello and welcome to another Total War Warhammer guide. Today we are looking at the Grave Guard. There's two varieties of Grave Guards. You've got the sword and the shield guys, and you've got the great weapon guys. They're two of my favourite looking units in the game. When I was playing tabletop version, I was always one of those people that much preferred the sort of big units of troops as opposed to the big monsters and scary stuff like that. I used to like big blocks of infantry. They were my favourite. And the Grave Guard are a spectacular unit in the game. They're like a much more upgraded unit of skeletons. These are actually whites. I think in the tabletop version I didn't actually play vampire counts, but I think you could only have one unit of Grave Guard. I don't think you could spam tons of them. Anyway, so they both come in units of 90. We'll go through the differences between the two, the different uses of them, and then we'll watch them kill some Bretonnians. Because why not? Nobody likes Bretonnians. Right, so these are the standard Grave Guard. They are armoured and shielded, meaning they stop a lot of damage from units that don't do armour piercing, and also missile infantry and cavalry. They do less damage against them. They are also anti-infantry. So anti-infantry units have an advantage against targets that are smaller than a horse. Just other infantry. I think people understand that. And so they get actual bonus damage against smaller targets. Superior weight used to smash through light enemies, or an explosive attack from range that affects a large area. So these are, like if you're fighting goblins, these guys would just slaughter goblins. It would be just disgusting. So they have really, really good armour. These are well armoured troops. They're venerated in the Society of Vampire Lords in the Vampire Count army. So they got 90 armour. They got 50 leadership, which is pretty good for an undead. Speed of 28, as you'd expect, pretty slow. Melee attack of 22, defense of 34, which is really good. And they've got a strength of 38, so 30 weapon damage, 8 armor piercing, and a 10 bonus versus infantry. They also have a charge bonus of 10, which is not much. They do cause fear, like most undead units. Fear means that basically it reduces the leadership of units they're fighting in nearby units. They can hide in the forest, which is always nice. They are undead. So the way the undead works, sorry if you've watched all my videos and have heard me explain undead a million times, but I have to do it in case this is your first one. So the undead rule basically means instead of, if you're losing a fight, running away and getting all scared and just legging it off the battlefield, they will never run away, which is, you're thinking, brilliant, excellent, I like that. But what happens is that if they are losing combat, they will start crumbling, and then eventually start disintegrating. And these things mean that the unit itself just starts taking more and more damage. So even though they'll fight down to the last man, that will happen a lot quicker because they just start crumbling. So next up, we've got the Grave Guard with great weapons. So we'll look at the slight differences between the two. So their armour is the same. They've got the same leadership. They've got the same speed, attack. They've got much less defense. They don't have the swords. The swords. Well, they don't have swords, but they don't have shields, so their melee defense is a lot lower. Their weapon strength is 36 compared to 38, but their weapon strength does... they are armor piercing. So these guys can go up against heavily armored troops and do more damage than the normal guys. And they also are anti-infantry like their brothers. They cause all the same things. They cause fear. They can hide in forest. They're undead, crumbling, disintegrating, all that good stuff. Their weapon strength is 36, like I said, but armor piercing damage is 26. So they've got slight different uses in the game, as you'd expect. So you'd expect the armor piercing guys. They're going to go up against the heavily armored guys, right? Of course, yes. They're both decent, but what happens is because the great weapons take a lot longer to swing as well, they are much worse at going up against the unit of goblins. They're still going to win, of course, but the sword and shield guys will take care of them a lot quicker. And obviously with the shield means they're going to take less damage from missile units. Come on, run along. Let's get into some combat. So the Grave Guard are the way you use them in battle is they form your main backbone of your army. So you might have a unit of Grave Guard, then maybe some skeletons, then another unit of Grave Guard, some maybe zombies or other skeletons as part of your main battle force. They do a ton more damage than skeletons and zombies. Skeleton zombies are known as cloggers, in my mind anyway. They're called cloggers, meaning that they're just there to clog up the enemy, stop other enemy units from flanking you, etc, etc. But these Graveguard can actually win fights of their own accord, which is actually pretty decent. Let's charge one of them into them and one of them into them, the poor little Bretonians. And we'll charge Manfred into that one as well. George! And the hero leaps in. The models in this game are absolutely beautiful. So that fear bonus is really helpful. I think with old Manfred I'll cast my favourite spell, which is which I can never fucking find. Let's raise a unit of zombies right in their faces. Yeah, so they're not very quick units, both of these, so they're not going to be doing any particularly extreme flanking manoeuvres or chasing after infantry, missile infantry or artillery crews. These are your main fighting force. They will stay in the fight a long, long time. They want to be close to your heroes because heroes have all the different abilities. The necromancers and vampire lords have all the abilities to keep their hit points up, replenish hit points, even raise the dead. So that's fantastic. My Manfred is just kicking some ass, and he is a badass. Right, so there you go, guys. There's my mini little guide for the Graveguard. Hope you enjoyed it. Definitely use these troops. So, as you can see, we've broken their main units. It's just a hero left fighting on his Todd. He's going to look round, and all his buddies have run away. No, even the Lord's off. Right, there you go, guys. These are the definitely more fighty end of the Vampire Count army. Don't leave home without them. They're fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the place for lots more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.